Mwen fikse jem sou. Mwen konen ou pa abandon. Pale pou mwen, Seigneur pale pou mwen. Agi pou mwen, Seigneur agi pou mwen. Campe pour moi, Seigneur, campe pour moi. Oh, où c'est tout ça besoin? Où c'est tout ça besoin? Great. How you guys doing today? Great. Try this one more time. How you guys doing today? Great. Thank you, Jackie. I don't get attitude so far. You remind me of myself when I was young, except without the dreads. Alright. So what we're gonna do today is before we start with the message, we're gonna do a short icebreaker to get you guys going. Anybody have a suggestion? Icebreaker? I mean, I have something in mind already, but I'd rather ask you guys for suggestions. Huh?
What you got in mind?
Telephone.
We can't do telephone anymore because some people don't know how to play.
Alright, so we're gonna try telephone since nobody give me suggestions.
No telephone.
Huh?
No.
It's entertaining.
Nah, not telephone, man.
Huh?
Yeah.
Telephone, you only tell the message one time. You can't repeat it.
I have something in mind. It's not something interesting.
That is long. You know they're not gonna get that.
Oh, you already broke the rule. You said it twice.
Okay.
Back.
You said it extra. Oh, what about this? Oh, okay. You can't repeat it.
I just want to make sure you got it.
The music is always the one that messes up. Don't burn off your ears.
I look like Mark.
Stop talking. Let my dog nigga get it going.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wow. You feel me? Yeah, right.
He would say something like that.
You're so predictable.
I made it long. You said keep it short.
Not that.
You can't repeat it. You can't repeat it. There, that's where it messed up. Right there. That's where it got messed up. I can tell. Go ahead. Come on. Participate. Make it fun.
Got game. Enthusiasm. What did you do today? I don't know.
I'm trying to think of
Yup.
Corn
Too
chip.
much. You gotta tell him. Get back. Sorry, what did you say?
I said it right.
Alright, go ahead.
Someone's hiding on the back.
Now you gotta say it out loud.
What did it tell you? What did it tell you?
Me?
No, they ain't gonna be high. Hold it back. What did she just tell you?
Tabitha, do you want to play or? Okay.
It's a holiday song. That's all.
Huh?
What did she say?
I don't listen. Thing about me, so all I will focus about that. The
message?
It's
No problem. Not gonna pressure you.
yeah, so I should like to talk about the holiday something. I'm like, oh,
You good? You good, brother? You good? What did she tell you?
Did you actually know tomorrow was a holiday?
Did you actually know this was a holiday?
I
Close.
said tomorrow is a national holiday.
Close.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original sentence was tomorrow is a national holiday.
So nasty,
So I wanted to just do something real quick to bring you guys up. Alright, so just before we get going, we're gonna ask everybody please quickly stand up. We're gonna pray real quick to open up to the message. Everybody up, please. Everybody up. Everybody close your eyes, bow your head. I'll pray. Heavenly Father, we come before your throne, Father God. We want to say thank you for an amazing day that we had. We ask for forgiveness for the things we have done wrong in your eyes and for others. We don't want to ask for God things that we have not complained about, for God things that we do not want to admit to, Father God. We just ask you this morning, Father God, make us pure, make us white, Father God, give us a pure and clean heart, Father God. Let everything that will be coming out of my mouth, Father God, be things that we have already approved, Father God. Let the message that is on the speaker be something that you have already transparent. Let every single individual that is in this room, Father God, take something away from the message, Father God. Help everyone that is in to not walk away the same way they walk in, Father God. I ask this moment, Father God, I ask you less of me and more of you, Father God, for you see what one or two of us is gathered, for your name's sake. You're here amongst Father God. Protect those that are still making their way here. Allow them to get here, safe and sound, Father God. We thank you, we love you. We ask for these favors in Jesus Christ and we pray. Amen. Perfect. How you guys doing once again? Good. I need energy. I need energy, all right? So last month our topic was born again. Anybody remember anything at all from the topic? Born again, the topic. Anybody at all?
Baptism.
Thank you, Jackie. You know what? I'm glad you're a friend. You know you're on the road today. Anybody else? Anything else from last month's topic? Shout them out. Don't be shy. Don't be nervous. Somebody.
Salvation.
Salvation. Sam, what did you get from the message? So you're talking to me.
I would say that baptism is what we need to baptize.
Perfect. So last month our focus was solely on baptism and born again and repent. And it's funny, and it's no coincidence that young man in the yeah, it's no coincidence that he said, make sure you guys not coming here wasting your time. Because that was also something that we discussed last month was when you guys come here, are you guys getting fed something? Are you guys taking something from it? It's one thing to come here and take the message and just walk out the door and just say, okay, whatever, I'm out of here. The message can stay in this room. But are you actually taking it and applying it to your everyday life? Are you taking it and making something out of it? And we don't want to be a Bible study segment that people just come in here every Tuesday just to chill, just to vibe, just to get away from home. Yeah, we want you to have that mindset, but at the same time, we want you to come in here and take something, all right? So once again, the main reason why I want to do that topic is because the end is near. We live in the last days. We just want to make sure all of us in this room are right with Christ. When that day comes, when God comes back, are you comfortable with the place that you're going to go? If today was your last day, can you say freely, I am okay and I am happy where I'm going to spend eternity? And if you're not okay with that, you need to take action. We can only stand up here and do so much. We can only stand up here and give you Bible version and speak on these things. But it's up to you to take the action because, Krill, this idea personally, I don't know what to say in English, but your relationship with Christ is personal. And when you get up there, you have to answer to Him. He's not going to take excuses from you, all right? So I'm saying we're just going to make sure you guys are coming here and taking something. But most importantly, from last month's topic, if you are not yet baptized, take the proper steps that you want to take to get there. If you are baptized, you feel like you're not even right for Christ, do what it takes. And don't punish yourself. Because salvation takes care of your mistakes for you already. And therefore, there's no sin that can hold you back from God's grace, all right? So for this month, we are still figuring out the topic. But today, we're going to be discussing imprisonment. And one thing that I wanted to focus on was run your own race, which was entertaining. So to be honest with you guys, I was struggling with the message. I was stressing, like, up until like this morning. And it was hard because when you're going to speak a whole month, you want to have the foundation laid out already. Because when you're going to speak out the whole month, everything got to follow one another. And for me, it wasn't until this morning, like I prayed, watched YouTube videos, asked friends, and things that people were saying, they told me good suggestions, but it wasn't clicking to me. It's like, that's not where God wanted me. That's not where God wanted me to go. And this morning, I watched Pastor, I forgot his name. I don't know if I pronounce it for he's a white dude.
Pastor Fred.
Thank you. Steve, yeah, that buddy. So I was watching his video. He's really good, by the way, guys. So I watched one of his videos on YouTube this morning, and I was inspired by the message that he gave. And from there, I started clicking, like, oh, you have a message like this already. I want you to use that. And once again, the message for today is run your own race. So first thing we're going to discuss as always, what does it mean to run your own race? And while you are running your race, which is trusting God, not imprisoning yourself into today's society, don't try to figure God out. Don't try to figure things out on your own. But most importantly, last point we're going to cover is trusting God. All right? So we're going to open up our Bible to Hebrews 12. We're going to read 1 through 3, I think it is. So Hebrews 12, verse 1 through 3. You guys have it? Ooh. And it's funny, it's in car. Gosh. So she has a Bible which is amazing. And the one thing I wanted to cover is while I was reading the Bible, her Bible was much better than mine. It gives you a description at the bottom. We got to keep in mind, and we are a generation of technology, which is very true. Not against it. Shout out to us. Shout out to the involvement. But we also have to keep in mind that as Christians, this is important that we have one of those physical ones. Because God forbid you lose your Bible, or God forbid something happens to your phone, it dies, now you're left without the Bible. And as a soldier, you walk by all time with your gun. So always trying to make sure you guys have a Bible with you guys. Just want to point that out to you guys. So you guys have it?
Yeah.
Perfect. So Hebrews 12, verse 1 through 3. For the respect of the Lord, please, everybody rise. Hebrews 12, verse 1, 2, and 3. It reads, Therefore, Therefore, we also, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and sin which is so easily, which is so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance. Say, run with endurance.
Run with endurance.
We're gonna try this one more time. Say, run with endurance.
Run with endurance.
Thank you. Run with endurance, the race that is set before us, looking into Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and has sat down at the right hand of his of the throne of God. Thank you, guys. Let me see this. Perfect. So on here, the Bible used the word run as a metaphor to let us know running with endurance. We're trying to ask you guys to say that again. Is running with endurance is not that you're running, but as Christian, you're running a race, and your race is to get to heaven. That's your finish line, and that's where we want to be at. And the first question we want to discuss is going to be, what does it mean to run your own race? So when you guys think of running a race, what do you guys think? Run your own race. What do you guys think? What comes to mind?
Be your own person, don't try to fit in.
Your own person trying to fit in. Good. Then what did you say?
Write your own page.
Go at your own pace. Very good.
Mind your business.
Mind your business. Lovely. What is it? Build your own relationship with Christ. Anybody else have anything else they want to add to it?
Trust the process.
One second. What is it?
Trust your process.
Trust your process.
And keeping a steady pace so that you don't burn out too quickly.
Perfect. Perfect. Tanya?
Stay in your lane and not view the way of others.
That's a subject. Oh, you did it. You got it. Anybody else have anything else they want to add to it? Don't be shy. Don't be nervous. No problem. No problem. So, perfect. Everything you guys say is great because that's exactly where we're going with it. But I like the fact that she's going to not close it out, which is exactly what I want to go. Like, stay in your own lane, not mind your business. Minding your business. And the metaphor that I came up with to get you guys to understand the point of today's message is, I'm going to use me and my brother. So I need you guys to pay attention to the scenario and the metaphor and understand it. So my brother and I, we run. You guys know that we run, right? Alright? He run more than I do. Alright? Now, there's time that me and Sam will run, and I'm going to try to take off as quick as he's taking off. So I am not going at my own pace, but I'm going at my brother's pace. So therefore, my brother, he can keep going for miles and miles at that pace. But for me, I can't go at that same pace that he's going. So therefore, I am running his race. Because in the midst of that, I'm not staying in my lane. I'm not going at my own pace, and I'm not minding my business. And I have to keep in mind that I have a mile to complete. So for us in this room, a lot of time we tend to run people's race.
Come on.
And we don't realize that the moment you start running somebody else's race, you're missing out on your own blessings. The stop that you were supposed to make, you didn't stop there because you were so caught up and focusing on following someone else that while you're running, you miss your stops. You miss the opportunity. You miss whatever God had in mind for you because in that moment, you're focused. For example, for me, when I'm running, I am looking at my brother's back. So when I'm running with someone, especially him, when we're running, I try keeping the same momentum he's keeping. So I always try to make sure I got 2 steps behind. So it usually start with, it usually start with me and my brother, just like that. That's how I run. We start running. Like halfway through, I start to know the distance. About a mile through, I'm definitely a big difference because he's a runner. I'm a runner too, but we run differently. We run different pace. And all that is because when I took off, I was right beside him. So just like us in the room here, we have to realize when you start your own race, you have to realize that person here may start at 10 miles an hour, 9 miles an hour, but what is your starting pace? Because if you're starting at their pace, you're going to burn yourself out. So that's the metaphor that I want you guys to understand before we start the message. So let's kick it up. Alright, so let's kick it up. So we're going to read, I need somebody to read for me, please, 2 Timothy 4, verse 7 and 8. A lovely person. 2 Timothy 4, verse 7 and 8.
I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will reward to me on that day. Not only to me, but also to all who have loved his appearing.
Perfect. So I'd like you to read the same thing again, but read verse 7 only. Only verse 7. Yeah.
I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith.
Thank you. So that verse here, once again, this is why her Bible put me on game. I didn't realize it. This one I was reading. So this verse here was when, just to make sure, this verse here is when Paul was passing the torch on to Timothy. Pretty much Paul was telling Timothy, look, I did my part already. I took them where God wanted me to take these people. So therefore, it's your time now. So in essence, the reason why I want to make sure you guys caught on to that, because I need you guys to understand that scripture. But the point I'm making here, it says, I have run the race and it has to remain faithful. So when you're running your own race, you got to remain faithful to who you are, not to who that other person that's running is. You have to remain faithful to who you are. Now, a lot of time when you take off running, there's going to be obstacles, there's going to be problems, there's going to be things that you're going to have to overcome. So let's just not flip into the Christian life. So now I just give you guys a scenario of the running. You guys got the metaphor of running, right? Me and my brother, you guys understood that, right? So now the metaphor, I'm going to go back and I'm going to go into the spiritual aspect. So there's time that you are chasing something after God because God blessed someone else before He blessed you. You start thinking that this is not real. This cannot be happening. Or God doesn't love you as much as love that person. But once again, you're running that person race because when God blessed that person, you don't know what that person and God had going on. You don't know what deals they had going. But the moment you start looking at that person saying, you know what? I'm supposed to be blessed too. I deserve that too. That's just something you gotta realize. It's not the time for you to start panicking. All you gotta do is keep praying. Don't start doubting God. Don't start asking God questions. We are a generation of me. We do what pleases me. We're a generation of now. If we get a job today, it needs to be something that I'm happy with. But or you can learn to see what are the benefits of you being in that job. What spiritual aspect do you bring to that job? We are a generation of now, once again. We want things happening right now. For example, like we say almost every other Tuesday, social media can look at things that we're doing because as of now, it's going live. So we're going with technology as well as it's generation of now. So we are a generation that we want things happening right away. But once again, you are running someone else's race because that race was never meant for you to run. Now you're paying someone else. And we got to keep in mind too, guys, when you see someone else with something that they have, don't idolize what they have. And I'm sure that whatever people in this room may have, I hope it's legally, or whatever you get, it's none of my business. It's between you and God. Nothing to do with me. But once again, you don't know what that person went through to get to where they are. Say, for example, anybody here? Tanya. Tanya works out. How often do you work out? Shout it out.
Now. 2 days a week.
So let's just say before.
Oh, before? Good. 4 or 5.
4 or 5 days a week. Alright? So when Tanya posts her IG post, we all see, dang, she working out. She getting them days in the gym. I want that kind of body. I want to post pictures on the IG too. But what are you doing?
That helps.
But what are you doing to get to the level of posting those kind of pictures on IG? Huh? Yeah, we know you get it. So what are you doing to put that picture on IG? For example, my brother, he can clock 1 mile on like 7.5. Just about that. Whereas I'm going to clock a mile 9.5. That's a huge gap in between. Even though I would like to run a mile in 7.5, which is me running my brother's race, but mine is at 9.5. So go back again. What is Sam doing to clock that kind of miles, and what am I doing? He wakes up in the morning. He get up and go run. He try eating healthy. He drink a lot more water. He do the things that a natural runner would do. Whereas me, when he's running, I'm still in bed. You feel me?
Straight up.
Exactly. You know, I'm cuffing in bed somewhere. Shit, don't do like that. I have to. Okay, we get it, guys. I guess I need to. Come on. We're drifting over from the message here. Relax. Relax. All right. So once again, when Sam is putting the miles in, running, waking up early in the morning and go run or do whatever you have to do, I'm in bed sleeping. Now let's go a little bit deeper. In my message, I have work. Now you see somebody at work just get a promotion. But do you know how many times they got to work on time to get that promotion? Do you know what they had to do to get that promotion? You don't know that because you're so caught up on running their race that you're not going to do what it takes for you to get that promotion. Nice objects, cars. So, example that I like to have is people say, oh yeah, you have a nice car. Yeah, before I had that nice car, I had to walk to work. But people don't know that I walk to work. People don't know what I had to do before I got that car. But they just see that I have a nice car. Jewelry, all these things is, you see, you idolize someone else's life, but you don't know what they went through to get there. So don't be so quick to say, I want it too. So if you want that too, do you want to make that sacrifice that person made to get what they have? And if you're not willing to make that sacrifice, then stop chasing someone else's dream. Favorite one here, which I label it favorite, relationships. It's okay, girl. Go ahead. I'll pray for you too. Hallelujah. All right, relationships. We all want to get booed up, right? We all want somebody to love us. But we're not willing to love ourselves in the midst of our loneliness. So if you cannot love yourself in the midst of your loneliness, how do you expect someone else to love you? Or how do you expect yourself to love someone else? So if you don't know how to do that to yourself, how can you love someone else? And the thing we got to keep in mind to relationship, you realize there's a lot that goes in. She's here. Funny enough, when I was like, this is going to be an awkward moment. But you know, we have a pretty clear communication line. When I was single, if I go out, I'm paying for me, myself, and I. If I pay for someone else, because I volunteer. You feel me? It's because I wanted to be a nice person. But now I have to compromise and understand that I have a partner that when I go out, I'm paying for two. My money got to be right.
Straight up.
So put into respect, even morning texts got to be sent. When I was by myself, I get up in the morning, what's in a day? Moment. Late night, you got to spend the hours on the phone. So there's a lot of compromising that go into a relationship that we're not understanding, but you're just so quick to get one because your friend have one. You're so quick to get one because you say, oh, I want to get to a party, I want to go out in public having somebody holding my hand too. So is it just about holding hand, or is this is what God wanted you to have? You got something to say?
Yeah, from a different aspect, but I don't know if that's part of your message.
Please, go ahead.
Also, like, when you look at other people's blessings, it might not actually be blessings. So, like, for the car example, you might see somebody with a nice car, but they're paying like $400-something a month to keep the car. And you're looking at them like, oh, I want that nice car. Meanwhile, we'll get to Toyota, you get to pay. You're not worried about paying off cars, so.
See, exactly. Thank you for bringing it up. So, at the same time you're sitting here paying attention to somebody else's life, you're running their race, what you visualize as a blessing to them might be a curse to them at the same time. But if you're so caught up on their life, you're not paying attention to your life, you too gonna follow their footstep and pick up a curse. The main thing is, funny, that's a lot of family thing I can talk about. My sister wanted a new car. I'm like, dude, your brother got a Toyota, take that Toyota and go back to life, alright? But she wanted a new car. I'm like, dude, relax. Because you don't want to chase a bill because your other brother have a bill. You don't need a bill. You feel me? Like, sometimes they gotta learn, but she's too young to learn. Another lifestyle, she'll learn, not that. But what I'm saying is, guys, don't get so caught up on someone else's blessing that you go ahead and get that trying to chase after a blessing that end up being a curse. Two more examples that I have is spiritual gift. A lot of times we view spiritual gift as somebody that is preaching, somebody that is leading service, or someone that is missionary or doing whatever it takes to just get the word of God out. But have you guys really paid attention to how clean this church is? Somebody had to do it. Have you guys paid attention to, not the shit right now because there's a little dirty, but have you guys paid attention to how clean those chairs are? Somebody had to do it. Don't get so caught up on trying to be like somebody else that whatever role that God placed you to play in His kingdom, that you drift away from that role. I'm not telling you guys to not chase after whatever God wants you to do. That is not my objective here. But if you guys, for some reason, feel as if your job in a church is to be the usher of the church, play a role. If you feel like your job in a church is to come in, pick up a broom, broom the dust out, play a role. If you feel like your job is to come in, pick up an instrument, do something, play it. Because through your role, someone else will be blessed. Ministering is when you are able to lead someone else to do the same that you were doing, or you are able to lead someone else to Christ with what you're doing.
Amen.
So if you're just thinking you're going to come in here, well, I want to be a preacher too. But for example, I preach. But do you guys know how often I had to face the fear of standing up here? I didn't just walk into that, oh, y'all want to be a preacher, and I'm up here. So there's practice that goes into these things. A lot of times people just want to step into the platform and not realizing you're not ready for that platform yet. Someday, God willing, I'll be speaking in front of millions, in front of thousands. Amen. But this stage here has prepped me for that faith. I didn't just step up to that faith because I wanted to get there. Because God ordered my step and told me, you know what, you're going to come back to Fort Myers in 2016, and you're going to meet Lisa, which is going to put you into Triumph Ministry. To Triumph Ministry, you guys are going to start something amazing that's going to give you a lot of experience. And from there on, I'm going to keep ordering. I don't know what's coming up next. I don't know what God has in store, but I just know for now, this is where He wants me. So if this right here is where He wants me, this is where I will be. So therefore, I'm not going to go chase something else. Sin, speak in tongue. I'm not going to chase trying to speak in tongue because at this point, it's not for me. But when that time is right, God will lead me to that place. So don't chase someone else's blessing and thinking it's a blessing, even if being cursed to you. But last but not least, which is something we're very familiar with, school. We see people in school, we see people getting college degrees, we see people getting certificates or accomplishment, whatever it is. Tanya Valencia just graduated school. She missed a lot of Tuesday, but we don't know what sacrifice she has to make to get that grade, to get that degree. Tanya just got an A in one of her hardest classes. We don't know what she had to do to get to that A. But for us, we'll see the report card and say, you know, I'm going to do it too. And that's the reason why a lot of us in school-wise, we fail in school because our parents or our friends or our society or environment put that idea in our head that we can too achieve this thing. But are you achieving it because it's your goal to achieve, or are you achieving it because somebody else told you you can achieve it? And if your mind is not into it, you're just going to start and finish. I mean, you're going to start and not finish. There's no, to me at least, so Laguerre, there's no worse feeling to start something and not finish it. If God opened up a door for you, be patient. The next door is going to open up, but on His own time. Don't go rushing to a door that God never intended for you to go into, because if you go into a door God did not intended for you to, what's behind that door, there's no telling what it is. But you cannot hold God accountable for what's behind that door, because He never opened that door for you. Sam just did a fast. He said, I need confirmation. He could have just took matters into his own hand. Well, God, I pray for whatever you pray for, and take action. But if it's not clear as day to you, let God confirm it to you. Because if God didn't confirm it, you're going to walk into a situation that He's not responsible for. So what I'm saying is, I give you guys all this example. I broke it down, so hopefully you guys understand one of these examples. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is, break it down. If it doesn't make sense, if it's not aligned with your pace, don't chase after it. Let it come to you. Let God order your steps. Because when God orders your steps, everything is going to fall in place. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, all the way to wherever God wants you to be. It's not going to be no 1, 3, 5, 4, 2. Because you're going to go out of step. You're going to miss exits. Because when I'm running my brother's race, halfway through, I'm starting to get tired. By the time he hit a mile, I'm already tired. I'm already looking at it. There's no worse feeling than when somebody else is running with you. They're done and you're still running. I don't know, I mean, for you guys that like going running, I try maintaining my middle pace just so I don't get too discouraged. But when I see somebody else is done, I'm like, oh my God, I still have whatever distance to go. It hurts. But if I'm running at my pace, I guarantee regardless of what happened, I'm going to the finish line. I'm going to be proud of my success. You asked me to say something?
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, to what you're saying, it is so true. Like, especially in the church today, everyone who goes into a theology school or to a ministry school, like a good 90% of them, especially in the Haitian community, they all come out pastors. Like, no, maybe you were called to go to ministry school, but there are 5 ministerial positions. There's pastors, there's administrators, there's prophets, there's 5 of those positions. Where are those? Or, like, it seems like, especially in the Haitian community, the only calling we have is pastor. Like, when I tell people, you know, for example, a lot of people tell me, hey Sam, you're meant to be pastor, okay, whatever. Like, at the moment, that's not what I feel. Like, it's on my heart. Like, I have another passion, I have another desire. Maybe God over time will change it for me, but pastoral calling is not something that I see myself doing. You know what I mean?
And that's true. And I can relate to you, feel your pain. You know, you're right here, you know, she just said it. And I'll be honest, that is one of the reasons why our Haitian community and folk marriage is not successful. Don't care who's watching, don't care who's going to say what about it. We're not successful for the simple fact that everybody want to be a leader. Everybody want to have a church. But we don't realize in Caucasian church or whatever other church that are very successful or church that are progressing is everybody come in one community and come together. Prime example, for us in here, there's at least 4 or 5 different churches in this room. But we're not getting caught up on who's head, who's not head. I guarantee you, any day, the title of president that you guys gave me is like, whatever. But my thing is I'm a minister. I don't see, oh, I'm a president. Whatever. Like, this is just a title. I am a minister. I am here to perfect my craft to my next phase. But to Haitian community, this is, well, I'm the head pastor. The decision has to be run through me. The money has to be run through me. I need to be paid. In Haitian churches, some Haitian churches, not all of them, pastor will be lucky if he's on game. I don't want to say all, because I don't go to all Haitian churches. I'm saying.
I want to say that.
You can say it, but I'm not gonna say it. But what I'm gonna say is, majority of Haitian churches, the payroll is not.
Everybody here is Haitian.
No, we are. But what I'm saying is, I don't go to these churches. I don't want to speak on their church. I don't go there.
So I get mad with that shit.
Wash your mouth, please. Wash your mouth.
Sorry.
Please wash your
I'm
mouth.
sorry.
No problem.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. You can
So,
speak.
like, okay, we are Haitian.
Mm-hmm.
Even if we speak Creole, English, it's the same shit. It's
Same stuff.
I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Take your time, relax. I'm just right now, you seem like you're under pressure. Relax.
It doesn't matter. So, let no parler dans le haïtien. Plus mais les études d'affaires dans le créole là. Parfois, ma pose pas vous. Dans Haïti, il y a sur la télévision, il y a parlé français, fait macaque. Et pas après. Et ça me fait qu'on a, ok, pendant la parler comme ça là, moi programme. Si tu mentis, moi-même. Mais entre ça, c'est pour. On fait façon pour gérer jeunesse là. Pour ça, on a fait. Nous pas venir là pour faire belle parole et tout, pas
So, j'ai jeunesse là, dans quelle façon?
J'ai une façon de qui sens. Pour ne pas même agir avec la américaine.
Non, c'est pas comment il dit différence. Par exemple,
Si différence gagne, la américaine est fou. Je fais ça au blé. On a ici sur la carreau. Il faut souvenir là. Il faut regarder la carreau, il faut voir le bâti, il faut faire cela. Pas penser payer un pays oublié. C'est ça me dit. Il y a, excusez qui vient pour le camp pour se voir oui. Excusez. Mais ça même pour ça. On ne pas trompé, nous ne pas américains, haïtiens. Haïtiens. Il est un mother, so nous parlons anglais, nous parlons mais c'est haïtien, nous avons tourné la caille.
So, so single mom bien sûr que est-ce que c'est parce qu'il n'a pas l'anglais ou bien c'est parce qu'on bagaille même que non attends qu'est-ce que est-ce que c'est bagaille même que dans communauté qui font sentir que jeunes haïtiens a fait comme si black américain ou bien son bagaille même ou ouais avec yeux pas qui font sentir ça.
Yeah. Ça fait moi ça parce que dans la France biblique là tout nous tous haïtiens nous.
Yeah.
Quand on l'a parlé comment il l'en parle. Si nous-mêmes nous haïtiens nous pas parler, pour ça nous va pas nous va faire étudier en créole.
Vous avez pas créole?
Mais je connais combien américain là. Si celui qui est américain a fait lever là.
Vous avez pas
Amen. Gars pas bien pour sortir. Ça ils sont moyens. Excusez-moi. Excusez-moi. Maman qui monte des gants pas fait mal. C'est haïtien nous y est. On a fait quoi là, on a fait études en créole. Faire plus que un problème parce que on est même tout un problème tout. Et les bouches échappées tout parle anglais. Ma vie a fait la fait ma vie là di pas haïtien, américain. Mais parfois on fait effort pour nous si n'a pas d'école là pour communauté pour nous rendre plus monde. Mais des fois parler anglais, il y a des gens qui ne parlent pas anglais, ils ne parlent pas là.
So en même temps tout, ça me différence c'est que des fois il y a des gens qui là. So si je prends un message en créole, on y a si je prends un message en créole, ça veut dire qu'il y a même un qui m'a pensé dans le message là pour me parler anglais. Mais si je prends un message en anglais, je vais dire le même genre tout. Et en même temps tout, nous faisons Facebook là. Facebook là, il y a des gens qui sur Facebook, qui est haïtien, qui est américain, n'importe comment il y a, ils parlent anglais. So il y a plus de chance pour comprendre. So créole là, nous ne pas jamais d'école. Souffler, il y a des gens qui
Il va dépendre de moi. Il va dépendre de moi. Il va dépendre de moi. Je voulais fort connaître. Parce que je ne vais pas vous regarder. Nous avons des amis qui ont l'église, ils ont l'église déjà. Et pas ici, à l'église. Pendant l'église, on a venu. Grand père qui dit pour inviter pour venir là. Le grand père qui a envie de venir mais il va comprendre anglais. Il dit l'église anglais lié. Moi dis non. Elle aime venir à moi ça.
So,
Ma dis bagage bien. S'ouvre les points s'ouvre. N'a fait ici c'est haïtien avec haïtien. M'pas dire pas d'anglais non. Just quand même. Mélanger la paix.
go so.
Et ça, c'est ça que je veux comprendre. Après ça, je vais dire, je vais venir. Je vais parler créole. Haïtien.
It's true. I know people so
there's a lot of we are Haitian. We are Haitian. Everybody speaks Creole.
No, but also.
What I'm going to say.
Real quick, Jimmy, give me 1 second.
Okay. This is what we're doing. Jay, have a seat real quick. So have a seat. You can have a seat. So what we're gonna do is,
Also, you have to understand, it's a biblical simple. E baske sel Haitien liye. Tant que n'importe monde qui vient, nous les Américains qui viennent là, Haïtiens, Panyol, Blanc, il va.
All I'm saying, because we are Haitian here.
This is a discussion y'all should be having.
that's what I'm telling you. So, Jean.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So, no problem. So what we'll do is, obviously, I'm not
Yeah,
Thank you.
sorry.
I was going to say the same thing. So to go back to the message, we were on school. School. So a lot of times we see people with college degrees or certificate or school degrees, and we don't know what they did to get there. We don't know what late night they had to pull, what route they went through. So again, to go back into our spiritual life is, you may see someone with a spiritual gift, you don't know what route God took them. And a lot of times we want to do things that make sense. We want to go path that are logical. But with God, things are not going to be logical. Things are not going to make sense. But if you trust His process, at the end of the day, you're going to get to where you need to be at. But if you're paying attention to someone else's race, at the end of the day, you're going to end up where they're supposed to be at. And for you, you're going to be in a lost situation. Because in the first place, that's never where God intended for you to be in the first place. So by you running that person's race, you miss out on your own blessing. So the first one we're talking about, guys, is, okay, what does it mean to run your own race is, keep your eyes on your prize. Keep your eyes on where God wants you to be. Keep your eyes on wherever God had intended for you to be in the first place. Because if you're running someone else's race, you're going to end up at their finish line. And when you end up at their finish line, it's not going to make much sense to you because at the end of the day, that's not what God wants you to be in the first place. Alright? Second point we're going to discuss is trust God. Don't try to figure things out. The second one is don't try to figure things out on your own. Trust the process. So the analogy that I have on here is a pregnant woman, correct? You guys know what a pregnant woman is, right?
Yes.
I feel like everybody's just like, tense. Like, relax. Relax. Alright, we're good. Alright. Mom?
What's a pregnant woman?
Alright, so the first thing I want to tell you guys is the more we're trying to stay and figure God out, the more stress we're going to get, the more frustrated we're going to get, and the more likely we're going to get angry. So let's use this analogy is a pregnant woman and where God wants you to be at. Correct? I need my notes. So, if you're not married through pregnancy, through marriage, I apologize, this is not conveyed to you, nothing against you, nothing at all. But I want to take this from a spiritual perspective. You should have kids when you're married. But if you're not, nothing against you once again, Jesus still loves you. If you have kids through marriage, right? Through marriage, which means you and your spouse, you plan the pregnancy. You plan to have a baby, correct? And here you have someone that is asking God something, that is asking the desires of the heart, that is asking God, I want to get better, I want to go to school, I want to do something different. So that's the first phase. Your second phase is you plan a pregnancy, then oh my God, babe, it's true, it's happening, we're pregnant. Alright? Now you find out you're pregnant. Now, you asking for God for something is God planted the seed inside of you. Alright? Now God planted the seed, and from there on, you're pregnant, you find out you're pregnant, yeah, you're happy. From then on, what's next? You find out the gender of the baby. Yes? Yes? I see you guys looking confused. I want to make sure you guys understand that. Alright? From that, you find out the gender of the baby. Alright? In a spiritual aspect, God starts displaying the purpose to you of what He wants you to do. Alright? Find out the gender of the baby. Yes, we're having a boy. Woo-wee, twin boys. Ooh, Jesus. You start making preparation. Alright? You start making preparation. Because now you got to start buying clothes, buying diapers, buying twice the amount of milk, buying twice the shoes, whatever it is that you got to do. Now you got to do that part. Spiritual aspect, you start preparing for what God will take you. You start preparing for wherever He's going to lay you, place you next. Now that you just went down to, once again, plan to pregnancy, find out that you're pregnant, you find out the gender of the baby, you prepare for the baby, now the baby has arrived, which is the final stage. Spiritual aspect is you ask God for something, God planted the seed inside of you, God displayed your purpose to you, God, you prepared yourself to where God wants you to be at, and the spiritual aspect, once again, you step into God's purpose for your life. So what I'm saying is, don't try to figure God out, because everything in life is a process. Whatever you're going to do is going to require timing. It's going to require a purpose. Because if a pregnant woman trying to rush her pregnancy, you're going to kill the baby most likely. Or the baby's going to come out not healthy. Same thing with God's not killing that dream. Or you may end up taking a detour and coming right back to where you came from. So you don't want to do that, because at the end of the day, if God wants you to be somewhere in 5 years, get there in 5 years. For a pregnant woman, this scenario is kind of like broad, but it's like it's a 9-month process. I wanted to use that to break it down to you guys to see the understanding of it. But for us as Christians, if God told you, if you ask God for a car, and you keep praying on that car, and whatever car you ask for is the car that you're waiting on God for, don't go buy another car just because, like, okay, I need a car bad. You buying that other car that you wanted really bad, now you ended up with a bill that you don't want, first of all. Car going to start breaking down on you, and more damage is going to happen. God forbid, you might make an accident. But that is all because you was rushing that process. So just like a pregnant woman takes time to do whatever she has to do, your purpose in Christ is going to take time too. So keep focused and keep reminding yourself that as long as I'm praying, God is going to answer my purpose. As long as I'm praying, there will be a higher calling to what I'm doing. And regardless of what I do, as long as I'm allowing God to order my steps, I am going to get to where I want to be at. So once again, don't rush the process. Don't tell yourself I have something different to do, or I need to figure this out for myself because God is taking too long. All right? Anybody have any questions at all on that part? Is it making sense? Did the baby scenario and the plan for your life make sense? Perfect. And the last thing I want to cover tonight is trust God's timing. What is trust? Shout them out. What is trust? Oh, faith. What is trust?
Liability. Liability.
Liability. What you say, Jackie? She's still answer. What was her answer? Perfect. All right. What is trust? It's not spiritual. Trust, like the definition of trust. If you tell me I trust my mother, or I trust my friend, I trust my professor, I trust my car, I trust my dog, then vulnerable.
Somebody from Facebook said faith.
Faith. Thank you. Faith. I will think you were saying something.
I was saying believing and not second guessing.
Believing, not second guessing. I like the fact that we're all attacking the spiritual aspect first. Anybody else? Any other definition for trust?
What is love?
Love? That's cute. He's gonna mix his hand up here. This ain't love, you know? That's cute. Alright? So now that we just give all these answers, is believe. Thank you. Alright? What is spiritual trust? That's why I was trying not to get to it first. Huh? What was your first answer, Jackie? What was your first answer? No, the one that Lisa stole from me. Thank you. Alright? Spiritual trust is having faith. What is faith?
Believing without seeing.
Perfect. Can somebody read for me, please? Hebrew 11, verse 1 through 6. A lovely person. Can you read Hebrew 11, verse 1 through 6 for me, please?
Hebrew what?
Hebrew 11, verse 1 through 6.
Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
Amen. Yeah, start over.
Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good testimony. By faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God, so that the things which are seen were not made of things which are visible. Verse 4, by faith Abel offered to God a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, through which he obtained witness that he was righteous, God testifying of his gifts. And through it, he being dead still speaks. By faith Enoch was taken away so that he did not see death, and was not found because God had taken him. For before he was taken, he had this testimony that he pleased God. 6, but without faith it is impossible to please him. For he who comes to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him.
Read for me verse 1.
Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
What is faith again? Once again, guys?
The substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things
Not seen. Not seen. You're right. What does the last verse say?
But without faith it is impossible to please him, for he who comes to God must believe.
Him referring to God. Alright? Him referring to God.
He who comes to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him.
Thank you. Alright. Trusting God. We discussed that faith is being liable, being reliable, trusting someone, loving someone, whatever that means for you. Let's go into the spiritual aspect of faith, of trust. Spiritual trust. To us, today, it means faith. Faith is the substance of believing something you cannot see, but you know it's coming. So if you guys pray on something, trust God. Don't rush. To someone in the room, whatever you're going through, God is going to answer that prayer. You're going to rush into a situation, like we said earlier, that God did not intend for you to be in. By you rushing into something, I'm saying, guys, God is not going to take responsibility for something he's not in charge of. If God opened up the first door, he's going to open up the second door. If God lets you get into a school, don't worry about how you're going to pay for it, because he's going to take care of that. If God lets you get into a building for a job, stop getting caught up on the energy, because if God allows you the first step, he's going to get you to that place. Because we get so caught up on thinking that I want it for myself. You're not asking God, what do you want me to do in this phase?
Amen.
God, where do you want me to be in that place?
Amen.
See, at school right now, I'm thinking, when I go to GCU, I'm going to start thinking, how can I please God while I'm here? When you go into that interview, don't just get caught up on the pay. Don't just get caught up on the hours. But think of who you want me to touch while I'm here, God. Who in this room that's going to need me to just say something polite to them, God?
Amen.
Who in this room that you're going to have me touch, God? Who are you going to have me pray with, God? Because in the midst of the situation, that is you trusting God. If you trust God with the little things, trust him with the big things. If God opened up that first door for you, he's going to get you to the door of the CEO business that you want. If you started a prayer or a fast on something, don't rush because you say, oh God, you didn't answer my prayer, so I need answers, and I'm going to make matters work on my own. I'm going to take the first step. So whatever that you guys are going through, God is never late. In 2 Peter 3 verse 8, 2 Peter 3 verse 8, it says, one day to us is 1,000 years to him. Vice versa. 1,000 years to us is one day to him. So you might literally be praying for something that you may not get to see, but your grandkids going to get to see it. Your kids may get to see it. You may pass over before that thing do pass. But once again, you pray for something, but when that time is right, God's going to capitalize. Because for God, he needs to see more of just a selfish act out of it for you. Don't just ask God for something because you want it. But okay, God, I want it, but I also want to use it for my surroundings. I want that degree, but I also want to use it to get to your people. I want that job because I also want to give tithes to your church. I want to get that to that shit that I'm in right now because I want to be able to do more healthy trip for you. Always start thinking of how can I please God in my current situation. Because that's what you're saying, God, I trust you. I don't know how we're going to get there yet, but I trust you. I don't know who you're going to put in that door, but I trust you. I don't know who's going to be the person interviewing me, but I trust you. I don't know who's reviewing my application, but I trust you. I don't know who's going to hit up my DM, but I'm going to trust you. Because you're going to order my step and you're going to get me to where I want to be at. You're going to get me to where we want to be at. So some temporary things that may happen. Say you get mad, you don't trust God. You said, I'm going to take matters to my own hand. You make your own decision. Temporarily, if you get mad about something, you punch the walls. You yell at someone, and let's be realistic, you may sleep with someone that God did not intend for you to be. You may end up doing drugs. Those are all temporary acts. But if you think about it, there's also long-term effects of things that we may do when we take matters to our own hand. So we take matters to our own hand. Example I want to focus on today is Abraham. You guys know who Abraham is, right? The father of many nations. So in the Bible, the story of Abraham is Abraham did not have a kid yet. God told Abraham, I'm going to make you a father of many nations. But Abraham laughed at that situation. He's like, hey, how so? No, excuse me. His wife laughed at it. How you going to make me a wife, my wife of many nations, but yet I'm 75, I'm about to pass. I'm at my age where I can't produce kids anymore. For God to get Abraham to understand where it's coming from, he walked Abraham out one night. He said, Abraham, look up. What do you see? He sees stars. He says, that is how many kids you're going to have. Imagine looking up at the skies and God said, that is how many dollars you're going to have in your bank account. Amen. To a point you can't even count. To a point you can't even count. Put into perspective that God said, that's how many people's life you're going to touch through your message. That's how many people that look up to the sky. That's how many people that through your job, you're going to have an impact on. Just because, once again, you trusted God in that situation. Just because you trust God in that situation. Because if you trust God to get you that $1 that you need raised, trust God to give that $1 million business that He's going to give you. Everything that is on the earth belongs to God anyway. Amen. But once again, if you say, God, I trust you, but there's a problem. Mark, come here real quick. 1 second, I'm going to get to you. See, a lot of times, can you catch me? No? Can you catch me? I trust you, bro. I trust you. Alright? So a lot of times, we get to the mindset of we trust God. So let's say this is me praying. God, I need something from you. God, I'm praying for something that I'm hoping you answer. Please catch me. This is what it needs to be like. You know what, God? I don't know how we're going to do this, but I'm just, no, let me go. Lord. Please don't track me. All right. You don't care about you. So that is me saying, God, look here, I trust you. It don't matter what it look like, but at the end of the day, I know you got my back. So therefore, I'm just going to drop the situation in your hand. I'm just going to drop the situation in your hand. No matter how low I get, put me back up. I just know you're going to pick me back up. But a lot of time we pray, stay here. A lot of time we pray, say, God, I trust you, but I wonder if you're behind me. God, I trust you, but I want to get closer just because if I fall, I want it to hurt. God, I trust you, but then again, can you rather do a face fall instead? Can I see you acting in the midst of that situation I'm in right now? God, I trust you. Instead of a face fall, can we do like a side fall? Can we just take a knee? But if you say you trust God, why are you not just allowing him to just handle the whole situation? So to go back again to the story of what I'm trying to say is, if God says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. God promised Abraham, you're going to be a father of many nations. And God gave his promise. But the one thing that Abraham did not realize is God don't put a timing on anything that he does. Amen. His timing is perfect for your life. Abraham took upon himself, along with his wife Sarah, that they couldn't wait any longer. Abraham stepped with his maid. Stephen with his maid, Ishmael came in the picture. Now, to once again roll back into the spiritual aspect of it, Abraham and his wife said, it's okay, we need to have a kid anyway, so let's just you sleep with the maid just so we can have the kid. Maybe that was God's intention. But God never said God never said, hey, I'm gonna have you have a baby through someone else. I'm gonna make you guys the parent. But they took upon themselves to go have a baby with someone else. A lot of times God tell you, I'm gonna do something because you're impatient. You're gonna pick up a curse in your life. Because we're impatient, we're gonna do something that God never intended for us to do. We take a detour that God never intended for us to take in the first place. Now Ishmael is born into the picture, right? But Ishmael was never part of the plan. So now you're stuck with a kid that is not yours. To go forward again, now years later, when she's about to hit 100, Sarah had the kid. Now when she had the kid, that's when Isaac came in the picture. But let's keep in mind, Ishmael was born before Isaac. So we go pick up a curse that God never intended for us to pick up, but the blessing is still here waiting. The blessing is about to come up. So now we're here with two situations. So for Abraham, now he's caught him on a dilemma because his wife now saying, I have my own kid. I don't want this part of a family anymore. But for Abraham, this is also my flesh and blood that I impenetrate a woman and give birth to. So now he's stuck with one kid that was never his, and now he's stuck with the dream that God gave him. So don't rush into a situation where Ishmael is going to be born and Isaac is about to be born. A lot of you guys in this room, until you let go of Ishmael, Isaac is not going to show up anywhere in your life. Amen. So keep that. Until you get rid of whatever you're holding on to, until you're able to let go truly to whatever is stopping you from joining God, until you are able to say, you know what, stop hitting up my DMs, until you say, you know what, I'm going to show up to work on time, until you say, I'm going to put it the late night in that library, don't expect to get the blessing that God has intended for you to get. Because faith without action is pointless. The only thing is you have to trust God. Because if God says he's going to do something, he will do it. Name one time in your life God said, I'm going to come through, he didn't come through. He didn't come through when you wanted him to come through. But he still came through. So what I'm telling you guys with the third point is, don't go into a situation God did not intend for you to go into. Don't go into a relationship God did not intend for you to go into. Don't go into a job that God didn't intend for you to go to. Don't go into a school that did not. Don't go into a church that God did not intend for you to go through. Because you being in those places, you're going to want to hold God accountable for what's going on in your life, but God is not responsible because he never placed you there in the first place. So again, the first one we discussed tonight was running your own race. Pretty much, keep your eyes on your prize. Minding your own business. Stay in your lane. Do what makes you happy. Go at your own pace. Because if you're running someone else's pace, you're running someone else's race. My brother finished 1 mile in 7:30. I can finish in 9:30. I'm going to finish mine at 9:30. Until I'm able to put in the work, do what it takes to get to the 7 mile, which I may never get to because running is not my big thing. But the point is, until I'm able to get the point, until I'm able to put in the work to get to where Saint is at, I am not going to run this race. Second point is, everything in life is a process. Trust God's process. Don't rush it. Because you're rushing it, you're going to end up somewhere God did not intend for you to be in. You're skipping a step on whatever your ministry or whatever your work life is, whatever your college degree is supposed to be at, you're going to go to somewhere God did not intend for you to be in. And last but not least, trust God. Trust God. And I said, if you guys say anything from this message, just take the main point, but also if you're asking God for something he has not yet answered, take 2 Peter 3 verse 8 with you. 2 Peter verse 3 and 8. 2 Peter verse 3. 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 8. Take that with you. 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 8. Verse 8. Take that with you. Because there's no telling or there's no saying of when God's going to do what he want to do. Because what he's going to do, he's going to do regardless. And we say this all the time in this room, guys. Whatever your ministry is, start picking up that call. Because you are just a vessel to God that he's using to get to other people. You're just another body that he's using. If he wants to, he'll have Jackie stand up here to do what I'm doing. But when God has called you to do a place, because he needs you to be in that place. So trust God and his process. Trust whatever he has lined up for you. And don't ask why me. Don't ask why me. You're asking why me. Start saying, God, why you put me in a situation? God, why am I up here every Tuesday speaking? God, why am I doing driving to Miami? God, why am I doing applying to the schools? But fast forward. 15, 20 years from now, when I'll be booked for $10,000 per night, I'm not still going to say, why me? When you graduate school, you're getting that $15,000 check, probably whenever you get it. Realistic, $2,000 check every 2 weeks. Are you still going to say, why me? 50? 50 is good? You go 50. $15,000 a month. Are you still going to say, why me? Because in the midst of the moment, you're not going to put in the work, but you're going to catch on a blessing. You're not going to do what it takes to get to where you need to be at, but you're going to get there. And if you get there, you're going to miss a step. If you miss a step, it's not going to be the same experience. There's people in your life that you're not going to be impacting. There's others that are looking at you that you're still going to be staring away from. So you don't want to miss out on anything. So trust God, trust his process, and let his calling be answered upon your life. And at all times, guys, ask God, while I am here, how can I please you? What can I do to advance your kingdom? What can I do to make you happy? All right? Anybody have any questions? I know you shut your hand up. What's going on? Huh? You had your hand up earlier, and I said I'll come back to you.
Why?